If you will come with me, you'll float too.
Georgie.
Hello everybody, we're back with another review for It. This time with a few spoilers here and there.
No, not few. A
All
lot of spoilers.
them.
Spoil the whole movie.
Well, you heard them. So I'll start. What we failed to mention is that this movie is called It Chapter 1, which you see at the end of the movie. So this implies that there's a Chapter 2 coming.
Well, Sammy, would you like to show them the book?
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not Andrew.
I called the It specialist over here. He
I've
already
actually
read the book.
Yeah, I read the book. I read it about 8 years ago when I was in university. But yeah, this is a gigantic book. The film is about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and they don't quite cover the whole book. For one, the big thing that stuck out to me, and the main thing that stuck out to me, is that they're kids throughout the whole story. They grow up in this, and it alternates back and forth. Whereas in this, it's a complete story where they're kids and it's linear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you did point out earlier that it starts the same way.
It does, with Georgie following his paper boat into the sewer, seeing Pennywise there.
Yeah.
And right then and there, I wasn't sure what the vibe of the film was going to be. Because this, obviously, if you love Stephen King, if you read him like I do religiously, he has no problem getting gruesome. Yeah, that's just...
It's just all of them. Too many.
It's a sample of my collection.
And there's way more where this comes from.
So, a sample of my collection. But he's not afraid to go gruesome. He's not afraid to freak you out and gross you out and do something that'll just make you go, oh my god. Yeah. So in the book, in the first 14 pages, that's when George gets his arm ripped off. And I was like, are they going to have that happen with Pennywise biting and ripping his arm off? And they did. And I was like, oh my lord, they're going for it. So right then and there, I knew that the film was going to try and capture the essence and vibe of the novel. And I honestly feel like that it did, for the most part. It really was intense and gruesome and creepy. And the kids, the way they were portrayed, it was just reminded me so much of the book.
Now, there's one thing I just want to make it clear for them, right? It's how gruesome is it compared to how gruesome Stephen King wrote it?
As far as gruesome goes, I'd say it's pretty on par. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are some other things that are kind of not maybe gruesome, but just weird. Just some weird things that happen in this novel that I don't think you could legally do. On screen.
I know which scene you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes, one in particular, that you can't do.
It's a good thing they cut it out.
Yeah, or at least didn't bother to film it.
I heard about it and I was just like, oh!
Yeah. That's, and there are scenes with Beverly's father, too, which if you think he's creepy... in this in the movie, if you thought he was creepy in the movie, in the novel, I'd argue he's even worse. Yeah, he's very disgusting.
Yes.
Let's just ignore him. Let's just pretend he's not there.
Yeah, right.
I would have done more than just smack him upside the head with a piece of, tile or whatever.
Now, there's a reason why we're not getting into detail. If you want to figure it out, you got to read it.
I was sitting next to Max watching the film today in the theater, and she just leans in and she's like, I want to kill him. The father. And you do. He's terrible, but he's worse than the novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just imagine how you would feel when you're reading it.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll get back to the father. I just want to clarify something about the intro scene that I really loved. Is the setting of the intro scene. So you see Georgie. So I'm gonna skip when his brother was making the boat for him. I'm gonna start when he is out of the house. So he gets out of the house. He's happy. You see him happy, but it's also raining heavily. So you get that
contrast.
Yeah, that contrast. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, so you see that he's happy, so it's a good vibe. But it's also raining heavily, so you know something dark is happening.
Yeah.
But you see him happy, then he puts his boat on the water, follows him. You see him goofing around, he hit his head on what did he hit his
construction post?
Yeah, I think it was post,
yeah.
And you're like, dumb kid.
Yeah.
But then, just at that moment, the boat goes in the sewers. And you see Pennywise appear. The way he appears is also very, very well done.
It was
Excellent.
creepy.
The eyes and
it starts with the eyes and he moves into the light.
Yeah, just partially.
Yeah.
Maybe if I saw that, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be waiting around to find out what you want or if you're going to give me my damn boat back. I'm going to run. Like, no.
Georgie's a brave boy.
Yeah, he really is. is.
Bye.
It's like it's sad too because in his mind, I wonder what was going on.
Yeah, because actually, you notice that kid is a good actor too, because based on his facial expressions, you can see the mix of fear and curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if I was the guy behind the camera and Sammy was directing it, right away I would tell Sammy, don't let them see the actor yet.
Yeah.
Put him in there, let the kids have a genuine reaction, and I think that's what it was.
I think they did that. I don't think they showed Bill Skarsgård in makeup until after they started filming. I think he mentioned that on Jimmy Kimmel recently.
Yeah, that's how I would have done it, and I have a feeling that's how they did it too. So it makes sense.
Because they all had a genuine reaction.
Yeah.
Like when they first
Those
saw
scared.
them on
Oh,
the
yeah.
They
screen.
were all scared.
Yeah. Scared
We all
shitless.
float down here,
It's
Georgie.
crazy.
We all
Oh
float
man, yeah, the lines that they say is pretty catchy actually.
And those are all classic from the book. Like yeah.
Straight from the book.
Oh yeah. I was really impressed by that. So
It actually makes you want to read the book.
It does.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a freaking brick, and I'm probably not going to have the time to read it, but
it's worth it. It really is.
It is.
I tore through that one summer. It took me a while. It took me a few, like 4 or 5 months. but
Over
it was
1,000
worth it.
pages. So good luck.
It's worth it. It's a wonderful book.
Yeah, so let's talk about the scenes. So as we're talking about how they introduced Pennywise, the scenes were very, very well done, right?
Yeah.
So which one is your favorite one?
Who wants to go first?
Oh, be you.
Okay, I'll cut it out. Ladies first.
I thought you were insulting me for a second there. Yes.
ladies first.
No, you go ahead, Max.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh no, I'm okay. I insist.
Well, I would say, I don't know. My favorite scene is most lighthearted, I guess. They'd all come together. They were jumping off cliffs, diving off in their tidy whities and having fun. They actually got to enjoy at least a bit of their summer before it got completely destroyed, But I think that was cool. That part for me was probably one of the best scenes. You got to see their happiness as children and whatnot, and yeah, that's what I think.
All right. Dear sir.
There's a couple of really good ones that I like, but I just love when they first go into that house, into Pennywise's little lair.
Not little.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Little lair.
Yeah.
It was Bill, Richie, and Eddie, I believe. And they all, when they go in, they all see different things. They get separated for a second. Eddie gets separated from Richie and Bill. And they all see different things that scare them. I think
And then even Richard and Bill get separated later
They
on.
get separated too as well. Richie, Eddie sees that like really disgusting diseased figure chase him down. He falls down the upper floor.
Yeah.
Richie sees that room with the clowns, and Pennywise jumps out of the
Yeah,
casket.
you should have seen Andrew during that scene.
Oh, terrifying.
I can imagine. That actually was like
Yeah, but
it
room
was
full
creepy.
of clouds.
Yeah,
it's
it was
creepy.
creepy.
It's
Yeah,
creepy,
it was.
yeah.
And then I was just and then Bill being taunted by Georgie. That was a really good scene. I really enjoyed the way they did that, and then the separate rooms.
Yep.
And they open it up and they see the girl and half of her is missing. Richie's like, "Where's her legs?" Richie just said it like it was. Yeah. But yeah, so I loved that scene among others, but that one really particularly I enjoyed.
What about you?
For me, it's Pennywise's cavern. The kids floating and everything, and it's just like Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you go
Yeah.
into the scene where he's just there and he pops up and he's just standing there. And then all of a sudden you get to him and his head stays still, the whole screen's moving and he's just dancing. And he's just freaking the hell out of you, right? So it's just like, I enjoyed that scene because the way it was shot, it was made to make you feel uncomfortable. And I'm just like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, and
I
it
like
catches
this.
your attention so like vividly, you can't look away, and you want to.
I was like analyzing the shot and how they did
I
it.
was
and
doing that
like,
too. And that's why one of my favorite shots was when they came back to the house. You know how they all went to the house? They all got their asses kicked? So they left, scared. And then they came back. So they came back weaponized.
Yeah, that's right.
It was funny because the camera zoomed in on the black kid with the nail gun.
Yeah, that gun
I
for
was
the
like,
sheep. Yeah,
holy
yeah,
strap
yeah.
now!
Cool, Mike
Mike's
was
got
cool,
that guy.
man. He's like, I'm ready to kill some sheeps.
Yeah. I was like, man, this is not gonna work.
My only issue is like, if you know you're gonna fight a crazy clown, wouldn't you bring a little bit more weapons?
I mean, what can they find?
Kitchen knives, something to throw at him.
It's America. Where are all the guns? Where are all the guns in the drawers? Yeah.
But their parents would notice when those things were missing, I guess.
It's the late 1980s. I don't know. I guess I don't understand. I don't know.
I know for a fact, if
Canadian, we
Kyle
don't
was
have-
here, he would about steel-toe shoes, like, you know? One of those were needed. Someone should have kicked
If I was there, I would have brought knives.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you agree with me. Yeah.
we would have too many
I would have
shit.
brought my sticks probably, right? Yeah.
It's like, which
You
knife
would
do
be
you
able
want
to
to throw?
use half of them because you're debating on what to use.
It's like
That's a great
So-
scene though, where they're all just coming. They're all gonna face him. They all come together after breaking apart at
Yeah.
the end of like Act 2, I guess. This would have
Yeah.
been like Act 3,
Yeah.
and they're all like, you know, this is the finale, right? And they're all
Yeah.
together as one, saying like, okay, we're gonna get Beverly back, and we're gonna beat the hell out of this clown. So that was a great scene though. Like I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was fun. Which one scared you the most?
Ooh. Why do we have to start with me again? Okay.
That's what
I
I
wouldn't
said,
say
ladies
it's
first.
the most scary, but it was gruesome, and that's what scared me. It was like when she was being sucked into the sink, kind of by her hair, and it was like
gross.
wrapped
It was
around
gross.
her neck, and it was strangling her and pulling her in, and then all this blood just came out of nowhere, and just gushed into the whole room was covered in red blood room, and it, I don't know, for some reason that made me just want to go ugh, just ugh, and it makes you shiver in a sense. And then the fact that her dad walks in right after, and it's like nothing's happened because he doesn't see it.
Yeah.
And he just like brushes her hair aside, and I'm just like, yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that dad
freaky.
really marked you.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That psychological factor of that is like one of the craziest things.
Yeah, so I
I
think
wouldn't get
that's
through the
more
night.
scary for me than like jump scares and
Yeah.
psychological scares.
The jump scares in that movie were a little predictable, except one, which was my favorite one, which is
Also in the bathroom.
yeah, same place. Except it was after Beverly confronted her dad, which she hit him in the head with the I don't even know what she hit him with.
The toilet
And
seat, the toilet cover.
The cover.
Toilet cover?
Yeah.
Okay, so she broke that on his head.
Yeah.
Homie went down, and then
She's one strong girl.
it was a really good setup because that's when she was.
Most vulnerable.
No, it's like she finally got strong, and right after she turns around and you see it behind her,
But I
and
think
he
that's-
grabbed her.
He grabs her
That's
by
the
neck,
vulnerable
yeah.
part, is that she felt like nothing could touch her. And something did.
And I think that's the only jump scare that kind of got to me.
Yeah.
The rest, I could see coming. Frankly, not to brag, but I could see them coming.
I was caught off guard when they were watching the slides, and you can see,
Yeah.
like I saw it in the trailer when the slide machine comes to life, and it's just going through all these different pictures of it forming and the hair and all that. But when he pops out of the screen as like this demonic four-legged monster and turns his head and he's gigantic, I mean, I know it's cliched, but I didn't see that coming. I actually was like literally, whoa! I didn't jump, but I did sit back and was like, okay,
Yeah.
didn't expect
I
that.
jumped a little bit,
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
yeah.
it was. So that was just a creepy scene. I thought it was really, like, just cinematically speaking, I thought it was really well done. It looked good.
Yeah.
And I loved the way, like, they made Pennywise with the teeth and his giant head, and just the kids the way they reacted. Wonderful scene. Yeah.
For me, it would be when Ben goes downstairs, sees his brother, and then his brother starts warping his face, and then you see
Oh,
Eddie
Bill,
come-
Bill.
Bill, sorry, Bill, and warping his face, and he comes.
Oh, of his house.
Yeah, in his house.
Yeah,
the
in his
basement.
house. Okay.
And he's under the water. For me, the only moment it got me was when he started moving, and I'm like, that's an unnatural movement to
Yeah.
see, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was really well done, and also it did jump me a bit there.
Yeah, I'll end it with something that really got to me in that movie, and then I think we can end it up right there. It's the fact that Bill shot his brother in the head. It was not his brother; it was still it, but he still shot him in the head.
He didn't know. He wouldn't have known. Like,
It's like
I couldn't.
No, he says you're not
I have a
Georgie.
brother,
Yeah.
You're not Georgie.
I
Yeah,
know.
but could you do it if this was your dad?
Yeah, that was what I was about to ask. Actually,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
anybody in here could do it. I don't think I
couldn't do
could.
it.
I could because he clearly made them slip up.
Look at it from a filmmaker's point of view. Did it not enhance that scene?
Yeah,
It
Oh,
did.
yeah,
It did,
it
of
did,
course.
it did.
But again, I
The
guess
director
that
was trying to
was
do,
also the
I assume.
psychological
He brought
part of
this
it.
topic to life, right?
Yeah.
But throughout the whole movie, Bill is clinging on to this false hope that Georgie is still alive when you know he isn't. We know he got
Yes.
devoured by it, right?
Yeah.
And in that
That's the
moment,
point.
he was like, yeah, that's why I loved it though. But in that moment, he was like, no, I know that my brother is gone and I've accepted that. Now I'm going to take you down. And I thought that was great.
Yeah. All in all, it was an awesome movie.
It was.
It was.
A great movie.
It's a wonderful adaptation.
It's not a horror movie. I've said it in the previous review. I said it now. Well, okay. It's
You may
if you
differ-
scare easily, it is.
It is. It's more
But-
like a thriller.
Yeah, it's more like a thriller. So
But it's an effective thriller.
Or Stranger
Yes.
Things like thriller.
yeah, Stranger Things like thriller. So it was an awesome adaptation of the book. I can't wait to see part 2. Hopefully.
I was hoping they'd grow up in this one, but judging by the runtime, I knew they wouldn't. So I'm really looking forward to that.
We know it's a money make. Like,
Yeah.
you know you're guaranteed to get
Well,
somebody to
they
watch
did it
the next
really
one.
well, so they deserve it.
It was good.
Yeah.
With-
Yeah.
with
I
the-
would
yeah.
definitely watch the second one. So
So my big
We are on the same wavelength right now.
yes, we are.
I was gonna say, would you watch the second one? But I'm guessing it's a unanimous yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Well,
Well,
then,
if
this
they
was a good
especially answer the question of where those bodies floating back down went.
Yes.
As kids.
we'll see. Anyway, we're done with this spoiler full review, and then
If
can
we
wait.
missed anything, let us know in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or if you would be willing to kill your own brother, sibling.
Would you
Family member.
masquerading a monster masquerading as your brother?
That's not what I'm advocating here.
Are you sure?
I know a monster masquerading as your sibling.
yeah. Let us know in the comments.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Subscribe.
Like or subscribe. See you guys.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, you can check out the next video here. If you're in a daring mood, you can select the random video here.